Okay, we just went through the C-sharp major prelude, which was surprisingly discordant in one measure and modern sounding in many others. Kind of jazzy. Well, that's not even used in jazz that much. Anyway, let's see if the fugue is that surprising to me. So this one actually does start the... I'm playing all these fugues and I don't even know the right terminology. The second voice enters before the fugue theme is finished, so I think this is the theme. Maybe it's just there. Where does the third voice enter? Da, 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 da. Okay, it's this. And the second voice enters before that's finished. And the third voice enters with an inversion before it even gets the original version of the theme. So, yeah, this is already fairly complicated, I guess. But it's a little bit surprising. Gotta get that B sharp. Alright, this seems difficult. I will take it as slow as I can. Well, as slow as I feel is reasonable. Double sharps. Again, okay, I'm going to back up a little bit. Well, there were a couple major chords again, but they were kind of hidden by ties and such, and so they're harder to hear until I go back and replay them, having to replay the tied notes so that they sound clearer, like here. And that sounds pretty standard Baroque, but if you replay the E sharp as I did, it's much clearer that, oh, that's unusual, as you've got a major seventh sounding at the same time, not just held over. That happened a couple times. Also, I was grateful in the beginning. I mean, it's hard in a different way, but this Baroque music, I mentioned early on that people are opposed to using the pedals because Bach didn't have sustain pedals on the instruments he used typically, and they are a bad habit for someone like me who, for me, I'm sure other people share this bad habit, but it's easy to, rather than holding notes as long as they're supposed to be held, just let the pedal hold them. And in the Romantic music, when pedals were getting really good, composers like Chopin and Ravel and Debussy rely on the pedal to hold these tones so that your hands can go do something else and you'll still have this soundscape, sort of. But of course Bach doesn't do that, so when you need to hold a note for a really long time, you just have to keep your finger there, or switch to a different finger and hold it down. And in the beginning of this fugue, because the theme has rests in it instead of long notes, so quite a few, it was very open, and there aren't very many places in the beginning where I had to hold down a note, which is tricky for me because I haven't played that much Baroque music prior to this project. Which is part of the reason for doing this project. And I was thinking at the beginning, oh, thank goodness for small favors. This is a pretty tricky fugue, but at least I'm not having to hold that many notes. And then about halfway through, we get these long pedal notes, called pedal notes because in the Baroque era, the organ was one of the instruments where you could sustain a low note really long, and you did so with pedals. The pedals of an organ are actually extra keys, and you just hold it down and it plays a really low note for however long you hold your foot there. So you get these pedal tones. And so your left hand's having to do those two things, and that was a little bit, that went fine, I guess. And then there's another one where it starts doing where it starts doing all the runs of 30-second notes. Measure 28, if I ever remember to post the sheet music here. That G sharp is supposed to be still held down for over 2 measures. And then towards the end, it just has these held notes all over the place. Measures are almost all just the right hand doing stuff because the left hand is busy holding down these 2 notes. And then the left hand can let go of one of them to do that. And then that. And that pinky is just stuck on that low C sharp the whole time. And I mentioned this in on the A minor fugue in the first book. You can go back and look at it if you want. I mentioned at the end I don't know how to play on a Baroque instrument because it holds a pinky note, it holds a low note, A, 1, 2, 3, 4.5 measures, and there's just too much stuff and too much range for the right hand to cover, so I don't know what Bach intended there. Anyway, that was C sharp major of Book 2.